If you want a beautiful garden, you need to work on it, right? If you want a dependable relationship, you have to work on it. There is no worthwhile relationship with the self, with people around you, with nature that works without effort. Even our relationship with pain and struggle is an outcome of effort, right? Effort to hold on to things meant to pass, effort to tell ourselves stories not true, effort to convince ourselves that everything will fall in place when nothing falls in place, just our position changes. So, all of this is to say that invisibility is worse than cortisol. You at least have medicines to regulate cortisol, but when you are invisible, despite your intentions and work, absolutely nothing would help. And so, if you too feel invisible, then this video is for you. I'm going to share insights from my life to help you improve your equation with others and feel seen, heard, loved, and respected. So, to start with, I would say that you have made yourself very easy to overlook. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me. When you always adjust, always accommodate, always say it is fine, when it is actually not fine, you train the people around you to treat your presence as background. Not because they are cruel, but because you have shown them consistently that your needs are negotiable, that your discomfort is manageable, that you will hold the space even when no one holds it for you. And after years of doing this, you wake up one day and you feel invisible. You blame them. But the truth is, you were the one who slowly, carefully, lovingly made yourself smaller so that everyone else could feel bigger. Visibility begins the day you stop doing that. Now, this took me really long time to understand that visibility is not about volume, right? It is about specificity. People who feel invisible often try to fix it by being more helpful, more present, more available, more everything. But that is not what makes you visible. What makes you visible is being specific about what you feel, what you need, what you will not accept. Vague people get vague responses. When you say, I am okay, when you are not okay, you're being vague. When you say whatever you want, when you have a clear preference, you are being vague. And people cannot see a blur, they only see a shape that holds its edges. So the question is not, are you being seen? The question is, are you giving anyone something clear enough to see? With this, the people making you feel invisible are often invisible to themselves. I have worked with enough people to know that the ones who dismiss you, who forget to acknowledge you, who look through you in a room full of people, are mostly the people who have no real relationship with their own interior self. They are not withholding recognition from you deliberately. They genuinely do not have it to give. You cannot receive warmth from someone who has never experienced warmth themselves. You cannot receive acknowledgement from someone who has never sat with their own pain long enough to know what acknowledgement even means. And this is not an excuse for their behavior. Remember that, right? It is a reason to stop waiting at a door that will never open. And this is the one I want you to really absorb. You have been asking for acknowledgement from people who are not your people. This is the thing no one tells you about invisibility. It is not a universal condition. You are not invisible to everyone. You are invisible to the specific people whose validation you have decided matters most. And very often, those are exactly the people who are least equipped to give it to you because they are the ones whose withholding hurt you first. A parent, a partner, a friend, you loved more than they loved you back. And so you keep returning to that same place, trying to be seen by the same eyes that looked past you the first time. Meanwhile, there are people right now who see you clearly, who have been seeing you, who are waiting for you to turn towards them. Visibility is also a choice about direction. And this is the one that I carried with me the longest. You cannot feel seen by others if you are not a fair witness to yourself. This is where it all comes back to effort. The same effort I spoke about a while ago. Because being a fair witness to yourself means you do not catastrophize your flaws and you do not inflate your virtues. It means you look at yourself the way you would look at someone you genuinely care about, with honesty, yes, but also with patience. Most people who feel invisible have an invisible relationship with themselves. They know their failures by heart, but they cannot name three things they have done well this month. They remember every person who left, but they cannot recall what they built in the absence. You feel unseen partly because you have not fully seen yourself yet. And when you begin to do that, something changes. Not overnight, but it changes. People can feel when you know your own worth. And the ones who cannot feel it, you will find you need them less. So, if you feel invisible, I want you to take one thing from this video, not all of them, just one. The one that felt like it was all about you. And then you start there. Because this is not about becoming someone else. This is about becoming visible to yourself first and letting everything else follow from that. If this reached you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to work on this more deeply, you know where to contact.